everything except rushing touchdowns, and he's got 18. The kid's unbelievable, all class. And I started a company a few years ago, and I called a bunch of smart people. I called like Mark Cuban. I called people had been very successful, and I said, hey, give me a piece of business advice. And, you know, all of them have kind of the same messages. But I remember this piece of advice from somebody: hit a bunch of doubles, and you'll have a successful business, because other companies will make mistakes. You don't have to hit home runs. Hit doubles. You'd be amazed how often somebody makes a mistake, and that's how Saquon Barkley ended up with the Philadelphia Eagles. Drew Brees became a Saint because a Miami Dolphins doctor wouldn't clear him. Mistake. Reggie White became a Packer. He was in Philadelphia. Their owner, Norman Brahman, was so cheap and short-sighted, he not only hired Rich Kotite, arguably the worst head coach ever, but he charged players for equipment to maximize profits. It was a second-tier organization. Charles Woodson, went to Green Bay, immediate Super Bowl. Why? Because old Al Davis thought he was Jerry Jones and was the GM and the owner, and at that point was weird and frugal and making terrible decisions. And you start looking around. Brady in Tampa. Bill thought he was done. Bill couldn't provide him with receivers. He started to alienate Tom. And in the end, he had no succession plan. They made a big mistake. Brady, even after all the years in Tampa, was still a top 7-8 quarterback. So when I look at the Saquon Barkley situation, you had Joe Shane, a GM in New York, who bought into this silly online media narrative that running backs had topped out. They had no value long term. And as we said, it was March 11th or something like that was the day that it happened. I said, he's not only is he going to succeed in Philadelphia, but because the Giants' O-line was so bad and they have no star weapons on the perimeter, you can cheat when you play the Giants against Saquon. You can stack the box. But with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, the safeties are off the line, and the O-line's first or second best in the league. It's not like he's going to be good in Philly. He's going to be dominant. Don't even listen to any of these people on the internet. Go pay a running back. Go buy him. This was a huge mistake. And we watched HBO Max. We watched the Giants and Mara, and how ridiculous it was. So this is an organization. They paid Daniel Jones, and they let Saquon Barkley walk. And I believe this to my core. You do not have to be a genius to get rich. You do not have to be brilliant. You don't have to be like Elon Musk, Zuckerberg, tech whiz to be very successful. Hit doubles in life, and then wait for other people to make big mistakes.
Yeah. So Colin's saying a lot of great things there, but it's funny that this question even says, or you can see, clear New York Giants made a mistake letting him go. I mean, like, how is that the question? Clear New York made a mistake? Yes. Yes. It's quite clear. Like, I don't even understand. And also, don't say that it was just an internet thing about the running backs. That's nonsense. Because Colin Cowherd himself interviewed the GM from the Arizona Cardinals, who said, our research, our metrics, we know that we can get a running back that, you don't really have to waste a draft pick on a running back, in the first round or whatever, that, if you get a running back that can rush for 85 yards, it's just as good as a running back who can rush for 110 yards or whatever. Like, he had a whole conversation with him about it. So let's not act like this was just kind of like an internet conspiracy theory or whatever. Because otherwise, there would have been a massive bidding war for Saquon Barkley, okay? And there was not. It was the Philadelphia Eagles that went out and made a play. And after the Philadelphia Eagles went out and got Saquon Barkley, there was a lot of people that said that this was not a good idea. The ones that I keep highlighting, Dan Graziano, Nick Wright, a lot of people were saying you overpaid, you paid too much. Why would you get a running back at this age? This is a bad move. This doesn't work for teams. Bad decision. So let's not pretend like this was just an easy swing to go get Saquon. Because that is now downplaying what Harry Roseman, Jeffrey Lurie, and the Philadelphia Eagles have done. 100%. And this isn't just a matter of, whoa, A.J. Brown and Devontae. No, this is everyone involved. This is everyone involved. This is the O-line. This is A.J. Devontae. This is Saquon. This is Jalen Hurts. This is Kellen Moore. The Baltimore Ravens have lost games because they did not give Derrick Henry the ball enough. Either because of just designed like 100% handoffs or Lamar Jackson making the wrong decision and keeping the ball for himself and not giving it to Derrick Henry. In all of their losses, Derrick Henry had like 80 yards or less. And you can make the argument that if he got the ball more, they win those games. But because of Kellen Moore's play calling, because of Jalen Hurts executing that offense, along with that O-line, along with A.J. Brown, Devontae, etc., they ball. But don't tell me, because teams say we're going to take away the run because we don't think Jalen Hurts can throw the ball. A.J. Brown's out of the lineup, Dallas Goedert's out of the lineup, Devontae's out of the lineup. Mix and match with the O-line, and yet Saquon still balls. So let's not put all the success on just, well, the Eagles are a pretty good team and the Giants were just a disaster. Of course you're going to want this running back. He's Quan in a million. Really? Why'd the Cowboys not get him? Why'd the Kansas City Chiefs not get him? Why'd the Buffalo Bills not get him? Why'd the Commanders not get him? Why'd the Giants let him go? Why'd the Broncos not get him? Why'd the Chargers not get him? Why the Dolphins? I can just keep going. Why did none of these teams go out and get him? And again, when the Eagles got him, you definitely had some people that were saying, hey, this is a great move. You definitely had an insane amount of people say that this was not the right move. This is not the right move. And again, I've showed you those clips. I gave you those receipts. I got a mind like an elephant, man. I don't forget nothing. And again, I remember the conversations that I had on the internet. I made those videos and had people coming at me left and right. So yeah, I'm hyper aware of all the hate that was coming through for this move. So again, I'm sick of people trying to act like this was like an easy decision for the Philadelphia Eagles, because it was not. It was not. This was the Eagles being an insanely high-functioning organization. And the moves that they made that were counter to virtually every franchise out there. No question about it. I don't care who your running back is. Your team would absolutely be better with Saquon Barkley there. I don't care how great Saquon Barkley is. No matter what team he goes to, the Eagles would make him the best. Because of the O-line, because of Jalen Hurts, because of et cetera, like I already said. Again, it's a two-way mutually beneficial street. Like I always say, multiple things can be true. But what I will not allow is anyone to believe that this was just an easy decision. Well, you know what? The New York Giants were just so dumb they got rid of him, and so the Eagles were able to just kind of scoop it up like it was easy. That was not the view. That was not the view at all. Again, I reviewed those clips. It was on ESPN, FS1, it was everywhere. It was everywhere. There was a lot of questions. This was not some easy home run. And it ended up being a grand slam, touchdown, hole in one, hat trick, golden goal. Use every single sports, metaphor you want. And it was a complete team effort. Both offense and defense, because the defense also dictates a lot what they want to do offensively. So the credit goes everywhere. Everywhere. Saquon Barkley is not breaking this record, even with the Baltimore Ravens, who ran a ton. because the Baltimore Ravens didn't do a good enough job of really taking advantage of their run game. They didn't call enough run plays. Lamar Jackson in his RPOs did not give Derrick Henry the ball enough. These other teams don't have a good enough offensive line. These other teams don't have enough of the weapons. The other teams don't have a good enough defense that has them be able to control the game more successfully throughout said game. It's a complete picture. It's a complete picture. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Philadelphia Eagles and Saquon Barkley? Do you think it's clear that the New York Giants made a mistake in letting him go? Please let me know in the comments below. I'm sure we could have a great discussion about that. I'd love to hear if anyone thinks that the Giants made the right move. Please definitely do let me know. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I'd absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.